My current area of research is I work on literature, but my latest interests are in the history of law, particularly as new ideas of law began emerging in the 17th century. I'm finishing up a book on the way that the ideas of law and history of law inform the great 17th century epic poem Paradise Lost by the poet John Milton. John Milton was directly, undeniably influential on the American founding fathers. It's been really interesting for me to look at and study and try to tease out more how these sort of foundational ideas that we take so for granted are really changing and being hammered out. These are really important works that take up big human issues. A lifetime habit of reading and thinking and intellectual inquiry is a really wonderful way to spend a life. So even if you aren't gonna go into academics, the more you can carry forward a habit of just simply being curious and investigating, I think that leads to a really sort of rich way to interact with one's world.
My research mainly now focuses on stroke and stroke risk factors, things about preventing stroke as well as treating strokes. One of the things that I've worked on has been looking at where people have lived and their stroke risk, and we've shown that there's an area called the stroke belt that has a higher stroke mortality. It's in the southeastern United States. We know that in the stroke belt there's higher prevalence of hypertension and diabetes, but that only explains about 50% of the higher risk. Maybe while people have the hypertension, maybe they're not getting the access to treatment for it and management of it and some of the other factors. Whether you or don't like to see blood, you can still do public health, in the sense of prevention and education opportunities. You don't have to just take care of patients. All of the work that we do has to involve the community. It involves, clinicians, doctors, teachers, educators, families. It's just a lot of fun and it's great teamwork.
Well, my work really all began when I got tapped on the shoulder one day in my research lab when I was a grad student at the University of South Florida. My major professor said, "How'd you like to go to Antarctica with me?" And I said, "You've got to be kidding." He said, "No, I've got a grant and I'd like to invite you." And I got on a ship, and 2 weeks later I was in Antarctica, and for 3 months I was immersed in this amazing place with penguins and whales and seals and almost nothing known about it. It was like being a kid in a candy store. And we published 10 papers from those 3 months. And that set me up for my career. Over the last 15 years, I've worked in a part of Antarctica that's changing very fast with climate. And this is the effect of global warming, anthropogenic climate change. And I have seen with my own eyes glaciers receding, species of animals having to move, some disappearing, like the Adelie penguin. When you talk about climate change, you're talking about a whole litany of factors that can impact our health, even here in Alabama. And my message to students is, get out in the real world. If you're interested in marine biology, go to a marine lab and spend a summer. Get your hands dirty. Get out there and really get into the muck. And that's how you find out what you love. And if you get a career that you love, you're way ahead of the game.